Hi, welcome to AFTERBUZZ TV's Spotlight On. Today I'm in studio with Sammi Rotibi. You can find him starring on NatGeo's first scripted series, Mars. Don't go away.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
See, you cannot go wrong with that topic. It's my favorite.
Wow, that was awesome. That was awesome.
Feel free to have a drink. Hey everyone, thanks so much for joining us. I'm your host, Zoe Hewitt. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Zoe Said What. That's Zoe Said What. And sitting directly to my left is Sammi Rotibi, who is joining me in studio today. Sammi, where can everyone find you?
At Sammi Rotibi, at SAMMIROT as in Tom, I, B as in boy, I, at Sammi Rotibi.
Now, I loved it because when I was asking to clarify and make sure I was saying your last name right, you said, well, it's exactly like it looks.
Exactly.
I don't think it looks
It's
quite
just
like
so
that.
easy. Just Rotibi.
It does roll off the tongue, though,
Yeah,
once
it
you
does,
start
doesn't
saying
it?
it. Now, you are on this really cool new show for Nat Geo. It's
Mars.
their first scripted series, which is really exciting.
It's very exciting. I mean, it's a hybrid of scripted and documentary, and it's National Geographic Channel and produced by Ron Howard and Brian Grazer. And anything those guys touch is golden. And also Justin Wilkes and John Kamen from Radical Media, and we have a wonderful cast and an amazing director, Valerio Everardo Valerio Goot. He's gonna kill me.
It's another one, just like it's spelled.
So I feel so blessed and fortunate to be a part of this, and so it premiered November 14th, which was on Monday, and also it's going to be every Monday at 9 o'clock on National Geographic Channel. And globally premiered on the 13th. So it's not just only in the U.S., it's also globally. It's going to be in 171 countries and 45 different languages.
And that's amazing. And 45 different languages is so impressive.
Yeah.
Now, explain this combo of documentary and scripted, because that's an unusual combination.
Well, it is. I mean, this is never been done before, and NatGeo is doing it for the first time. So, I mean, that's what NatGeo is all about, pushing boundaries. And it's basically a scripted. The scripted version is in the future, which is in 2033, and then the documentary is now. It's a premium docudrama, and it basically the science, the present, the documentary guides you, provides you with the context and basis of what is happening now, as far as going to Mars, colonizing Mars, and then we go into 2033, which is the scripted version of the show, and that's where we come, and we basically are the astronauts colonizing Mars. And it starts off when we land on Mars, landing on Mars, and also, the difficulties of landing on Mars, and, mentally, also mechanically, and trying to survive, and also colonizing the red planet.
And it is so popular right now. I feel like Mars is sort of the place to be with the Martian last year.
With everything that's going on. But actually, Mars is the next habitable planet. Elon Musk is involved in it. SpaceX, is what they've been talking about, for years. I mean, Elon Musk is estimating like by 2027. I mean, when you think about it, that's in 11 years. And of sending people to Mars, and I think to be an interplanetary species is amazing. I mean, the first astronauts or the first humans to go to Mars would be a big accomplishment. Exploration has been in our DNA since the beginning of time. I mean, we've conquered the darkest sea, ocean, highest mountain. We put a man on the moon. Now we're going to Mars. I think in terms of our philosophy, technology, science, and even medicine at some later point. I think will be such an achievement. If we can put a man on Mars, we can basically achieve anything. And I think it's such a very important matter. It's such an important thing right now, especially if an asteroid like hits our planet. That's all she wrote. So, I mean,
That's all
really,
she wrote. I like that.
you know, that's it, you know. But I think just the fact that we're actually thinking about doing it to be an interplanetary species, I think is a great thing. You know, it's to also help our human race, you know, to hopefully further the, you know, the human race, you know, in the future, you know, because who knows? So to be able to send to be able to send people to Mars and to be able to colonize Mars, I think will be a very big accomplishment. And you know, it's like I said, it's in our DNA. We're constantly pushing the boundaries. You know, going to the next you know, frontier and trying to find what's on that side, what's over there. You know, and I mean, without sending people without sending astronauts to the moon or discovering space, I mean, we won't be as advanced in technology as we are today. You know, like your cell phone, GPS, and all that stuff. A lot of people don't think about that, but I think going to space is a very important thing, you know, for our race and just discovering, you know. And also, what I want to say is our show is also very educational, but it's also entertaining. So you get both, you know. It's very I learned so much from being a part of this show, and actually when I first watched the first episode of the show Mars, I became a fan, and I forget that I was in it. No, really, I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. It was such a one. It was well made. Everardo, our director, just did an amazing job. And getting together a great cast like Ben Cotton, Jihei Kim, Clementine Pordet, Alberto Amon, who was also on Narcos, and Anna Maria Marinka. I mean, it's a global search for the cast, and I felt that they did a great job, and I'm just blessed to be one of the ones that was chosen.
And I think that's something that Nat Geo does well. And I think, if anything, it's not as popular in this country even as it is worldwide, because they have some fantastic programming. And how appropriate that they have a very international cast for a show that's about something completely international.
Absolutely.
It's something that affects all of us.
I think that's what's so great about it. I think National Geographic Channel is a perfect platform for a program like this. And, you know, it just goes to shows you, you know, for example, like our advisor and also teacher, trainer for this show was Dr. Mae Jamieson, who was the first African American female astronaut in space, and she basically took us through the ringer. I mean, like, we had to study, and we actually got tested for you know, just to understand the science and also the psychology of what astronauts go through. Because she was on the 92 Endeavour shuttle, and it was so amazing, and it was scary as well, daunting, you know, knowing that you got to take a test. And it was like, God, I already went to school. I'm an actor. Just give me the lines. And like, no, you got to study. This is, you know. But that's what the point I'm trying to make is that's what makes National Geographic so amazing, because they want the authenticity of it. You know, they're so authentic, and they want the actors to understand the psychology, the philosophy, and not just the science, you know, just to really get it. So when we're playing it, it's not just acting; we actually feeling it. Like when you see the first episode, when you know when the shuttle is landing on Mars, and you see the shaking, that was actually on a gimbal. So and they turn that thing, they turn it up to the highest, and I'm telling you, we were feeling that shit for real. Excuse me, can I say shit?
Go for it. And for anyone who doesn't know, a gimbal is sort of a platform that they can move, so you can put a set on it and actually move it around.
It shakes around, and so all the shaking is real, and you know, National Geographic is just amazing. I mean, I remember from a kid, National Geographic, you know, the yellow square. And to me, that was like a window to science, to the world, and it was through National Geographic. Now National Geographic Channel is doing a show about Mars. They just constantly keep doing great stuff and just keep, you know, pushing boundaries, and I think they just raised the bar with our show Mars on their channel, and National Geographic channel. I believe this is their 15th year anniversary, and I think what a perfect way to celebrate their 15-year anniversary by premiering and doing a show like Mars, you know, and also having great producers. I mean, Ron Howard and Brian Grazer, it's just like, they just gangster to me. I mean, they like badass.
You
know?
can't get much better.
You can't get much better than them.
And now, in the midst of all of your training,
Yeah.
did you do things like the zero gravity, which is supposed to also be very difficult on your body?
Yeah, we went. You know, she took us in the water, swimming pool. You know, usually astronauts, I believe, they train in a big tank of water, and they go underneath, like, you know, I don't know, maybe like the water is probably 25 feet. I don't know how deep, and they go to the bottom and they go through walking around. But we didn't have the luxury of having a big tank of water. We went through to a pool, a huge pool in Budapest where we shot. And you know, and we did the training, and you know, going underwater and sideways and just going back and forth just to get that feeling. And we watched videos. We watched, you know, Dr. May was very, very insightful and very helpful. And, you know, because I think it's so important to also to understand the psychology of these astronauts. Like previous astronauts have been to space, and what you're going through. Because if you think about it, there's 6 astronauts, or however, previously maybe 3, 4, confined in a small space.
Yes.
And trying to survive and get along and have a goal and objective that you all that you're working towards. And how do you go through that? You're together for months. You know, you have to get along or not. You know, people have different temperaments and different. You know, so I needed, for me as an actor anyway, to understand that. The mentality, you know, of, you know, and what they thinking and what's going on in their mind, you know, being out there in space, you know. So I think we brought that element to the show, which makes it very human. It's not just a science show or like sci-fi show. No, it's actually a show with heart. You know, it's a scripted show, and documentary just kind of gives you the basics, kind of tells you what's happening right now. And our show is in 2033, and we're actually doing it and experiencing it. And all the human element of it is in there: the pain, the anger, the frustration, the love, the happiness, the you know, emotions, and you know, it's all gonna be in the episodes. So I want your fans and everyone watching you to definitely check it out. I think it's never been done before, and it's such an amazing show. I've seen a few episodes of the show, and I'm blown away. And also, I needed to add this: the show is being scored by Nick Cave and Warren Ellis. And if you guys out there know who Nick Cave and Warren Ellis is, you'll be blown away. I mean, these guys are amazing. They've scored a lot of shows. They've done a lot of amazing artists, and they scored our show. And actually, the DVD for Mars is out now online as well. So I feel very fortunate and blessed to be a part of this.
I mean, it's such an interesting project for sure. And, you know, would you want to go into space? For me, I feel like it's sort of a love-hate thing, and I wouldn't want to. Like, I'm curious about the zero gravity, but the thought of going for like a year and being trapped exactly with like 6 other people does not quite appeal to me enough that I would say, let me do it. What about you?
Well, you know, I'm not an astronaut. Well, when you're an astronaut, you train for that. For me, I'm not sure yet. I've been thinking about it. I think if there's a round trip, I can come back to Earth. Well, you know, why not? You know, I think it'll be, you know, just to get an opportunity to go with everything that's going on in the world right now. I think I would want to go to Mars.
Everyone's talking about running to Canada. You can run even further.
I'm going to Mars, man. You come with me. Come to Mars. Let's go to Mars.
That's right.
No, I'm serious. Let's go. I'm ready. Let's go to Mars.
That is a whole new society.
Yeah.
And speaking of travel, you've done a lot of traveling yourself, because growing up, you grew up in 3 different countries, really.
Yeah, originally I'm from Nigeria, West Africa. And I was in London briefly. Then from London, I came to the States. I went to school in Miami, my JC, and then from Miami, I came to LA. and I've been in LA ever since.
And you have a really interesting story about how you were discovered at work. It's sort of like the American dream story of becoming an actor. What happened?
So basically, I was working at a bank, a commercial bank in Las Olas Boulevard called Consolidated Bank. And one of our clients, it's a commercial bank, so we have a lot of businesses. And one of our clients was a talent agency. And a couple, I think Jim Stickley, I forget, it's Jim Stickley and Associates. It's been so many years. And, they were coming wonderful, deposit, make deposit. And they was like, wow, you have a great look. You should try being an actor. I'm like, are you crazy? I'm African. Being an actor or a musician, that's not in the cards for me. It's either I become a doctor, a lawyer, an engineer, a pilot. I have to provide for my family. That's the mentality of, the old school, African.
Immigrating.
It's like, you need to go to school, you need to get education, knowledge, and you need to be able to get a good job to be able to take care of your family, and that's what I knew. That's what I grew up in. So being an actor or being in the entertainment business is not even something that I even for 1 second thought of. I just enjoy films. I remember watching James Bond movies with my dad, and also, Western, like John Wayne and Clint Eastwood movies. My dad loved Westerns and Bond, James Bond movie. Anyway, so the talent agency decided, they're like, you have a great look. You're a good guy, try. I'm like, no, I can't. So they kept, every time say, hey, how you doing? Have you thought of? So one day I just say, why not? Give it a shot, just something, try it, and I remember, I think one of my first few things was this movie of the week thing, and basically it was, what really got to me was I was going to school at Broward Community College, and I was working part-time at a bank. So, and then I had another job on the weekend. I was 18 years old. And so I was like, and they sent me on this job, and basically I was like a glorified extra. And when you go into school and they say they're gonna give me cash, $75 cash, something like that, and I was like, oh shit, I'll take that. So, anyways, I went on set, and I basically what we did, it was me and this other kid. We just the kid of the lead of the movie went to the dry cleaners to get his father's dry cleaning, and then they came out, and then we just rushed and just ripped the cleaners, bad kids, and just I poured ink, and then we ran away. That was it. It was like few takes, and that was it. And at the end, they say, "Hey, $75 cash." And I'm like, yes. But the thing about it is, I was watching the kid the whole time I was there. It's like, why is he special? Why does he have a trailer? Why does he have an assistant? And I remember asking the kid, so how much you get? How much you get paid for this stuff? And he's a kid. He was like 13 years old. He's like, yeah, I get paid pretty good. And he says he was talking about he wants to go to the store, to the mall. He wants to get a Rolex or some nice watch. I'm like, whoa, hold on a second. Like, come here, kid. How much they paying you, really, really? And it says some insane amount, and I was like, wow. What am I doing wrong? I must be in the wrong business, because I was going to school. I was getting my associates in arts in architecture, which I did get, and at a very young age, because I finished my high school, O levels. You guys call it high school here, at the age of before I was 16. So when I came to the States, I was 16, and by 16 and a half, I was in junior college. Strict family, strict Nigerian. So you kids stay in school. Anyways, but it wasn't until I got to LA, and I did a play called Jonan years ago, and that play changed my life. Being on stage, performing on stage, and with the audience, live audience, and it was the most amazing experience of my life. So I said to myself, this is what I want to do. I had to lie to my father that I was still going to school. I was, but I wasn't really going to school. I was taking acting classes, and I really trained. I did plays as much as I can. I was part of a theater company, the Grace Players, and Natalia Nogulish was artistic director, and I just kind of basically busted my ass. And as time went by, I started getting little gigs here and there, building up my reel, and and that's all. That's it.
And how did you finally tell your dad? I mean, to come from such a strict family that you had finished school by 16 to then say, no, I'm not going to be a doctor or a lawyer. I'm going into acting.
Yeah. Well, it took a while. Like, you know, the thing is, like, even when your parents don't want you to do something, you know, like, because they know how it is. They basically care.
Right.
Because there's so many rejections. You have to, you know, have no. But one yes is, it's like winning the lottery. When they started seeing one of my very first feature studio film was Tears of a Son with Bruce Willis, and I played the catalyst of the story. I played Arthur Azuka, the son of the president that was assassinated, and that was a huge film. That was a big studio film, and that did so well. And well, it did okay, but it was known
a big Bruce Willis film, sure.
Big Bruce Willis film. And family members saw it, and my brothers here knew that I was really serious about it. And then he found out, unfortunately, he died before the film came out. That was really sad, but he had heard that I was part of this film with Bruce Willis, and you know, he's a Bruce Willis, you know, those tough guy. He's a fan of Bruce Willis, so like the fact that I'm just doing something with Bruce Willis kind of made him okay. But he had stroke and he wasn't doing well, and before the film came out, he died. So unfortunately, he never got a chance to see me perform. But I think he was happy. My mom was supportive. You know, she was happy. She just wants me to do well and do what makes me happy. All she always tells me when I'm in LA, she's like, don't join any gangs. Don't join any gangs. Don't join any gangs. So every time I talk to her, are you okay? Hi. You didn't join any gangs, did you?
No, I don't know if that's a great thing or not, because if the stereotype is so bad that you just come to LA and you join a gang.
Well, they always think about LA, you know, colors.
Oh boy, it makes me feel unsafe, right?
Yeah,
you come to LA,
right.
you join a gang. I feel like maybe I'm missing out because I'm not part of a gang either.
And I'm like, no, LA is beautiful. They're like, yeah, the palm trees and all that, that's great, but don't get involved in any gangs. That's what my mom was.
Is your family still in Miami?
No, my brother, my oldest brother, my mom passed away, unfortunately. You know, I said my mom blessed me with this role on this show Mars, because she died a week before I was told that I was, you know, a week and a half. I had a meeting with the director of Skype a week after my mom died, and a week after I was told I got the job. So I feel somehow in a cosmic way she blessed me with this role, this show. So I feel to you, Ma. I hope I make you proud.
Oh, I'm sure you do.
Yeah.
And it seems like your life and your career comes with, as you get one really big up, you seem to balance it very much so with a down. I mean, your dad in the movie, your mom in the movie, and even when you auditioned for Quentin Tarantino, here you had a broken leg, and you must have thought,
oh my God, you did your research.
And I mean, were you thinking, oh, I have a broken leg, like at least I get to meet him? But
yeah, I know, right? I remember going in for the audition for Django, and the guys I was, you know, because I love playing soccer. I play soccer. That's like my therapy, and I injured my ankle, really bad injury. I had surgery. So I was going into the audition and cast. You know, it's at that period of time I'd gone through a breakup, you know, and, you know, a lot, you know, it was really down period of time in my life. And then this happened, and I'm like, God, what else? I mean, so I went in, you know, I was in leg cat, and basically I just didn't care anymore. And actually the two characters I read for, my mentality at that point was perfect for it, because I was so angry. I was angry at myself. I was angry at what was going on. And it just totally fed into the characters I was portraying, the slaves. And I remember walking into the audition, the other actors are looking like, this guy's actually coming into audition. He's in a big leg cast and he's walking on crutches. I didn't care. I just went in and I gave, you know, Vicky Thomas, the casting director, which she's a wonderful lady. Good casting director, and she gives it to you as a casting director, helps you out when she reads with you. And I just went crazy on her, and I just like it's a scene where I was telling Leo's character that I've fought few fights, and I don't want to, you know, do it anymore. So I was angry. I said, no, I'm not doing this anymore. Blah. And then next thing I know, a few days later, they said Quentin Tarantino wants to meet me, and I was like, okay, let's go. With my crutches and gas, you know. And when I met him, and then we did a few, readings, and doing the scene, and then the funny thing he said is like, he goes, well, at least if you guys don't get the role, if you don't get the role, at least you can say, well, you got directed by Quentin Tarantino. Like, that's so awesome.
But luckily you got the role.
Yeah, but luckily I got the role. So I met with him again, and he and I had a just sit down conversation. He's like, I watched the tape. I love what you did, and I kept you. Just there was something about it. There was something in your eyes. There's something, and he just got up and just shook my hand and said, "Welcome aboard."
Wow.
I mean, usually when you go and audition, then you go and then you wait, but no. Quentin just got up and he shook my hand. He says, welcome aboard. And I was like,
do I believe you?
And I was like, wow. It took me a while. Like, wow, that's just straight, that's gangster. You know, that's just badass. Quentin Tarantino is badass. He's a badass motherfucker, and I work with that guy any day. I mean, he's an actor's director. He's just a real fucking deal.
And he has a very clear and unique style. Like, you can see a movie and know automatically who directed it.
QT,
it's very clear.
yeah,
Yes.
he's just the truth. Just puts his heart and soul into everything. Someone was telling me that he's gonna retire. I'm like, please do not retire, because if you retire, then that's the end of cinema as it is. We need filmmakers like Quentin Tarantino or Paul Thomas Anderson, or like those guys that just like. Ooh.
Well, he has said after X number of films he's done. But that said, I mean, Oprah said she retired about 3 different times.
Yeah, exactly.
So it doesn't mean he's gone.
So,
And
QT, if you're watching this, please do not retire, please.
especially because he tends to work with the same actors
Yeah,
again and again, right?
I can't wait to work with you, brother. I love you, man.
And I feel like also coming into the movie as an African, having been born in Africa, did you feel like there was like that sort of tingly feeling, like that you're really bringing history to life in a way that's maybe
You mean
different
on
from
Mars,
someone?
or you
no,
got
no,
on
with
Django?
Quentin, yeah.
Yeah, of course. Are
That
you
it's
kidding
different
me?
from being
Yeah.
someone born here who just happens to be playing the role.
Yeah. I mean, just regardless of born here or from, even African Americans, they're Africans.
Right.
There's the blood that goes through. So playing a slave role, it's it's just. It's you feel it, because we actually shot on the slave plantation in New Orleans, and because Quentin wanted you to feel the real thing, and he shot in the middle of summer when it's hot in the South. And he's like, I want you to feel it. I want you to feel what these guys, men and women, went through, and children. And this is not. I mean, that's what I love about him, and that's what I also love about our director on Mars, Everardo Valeria Gut. Just to kind of bring it back real quick to Mars, he's amazing. He also wants the authenticity, like the realness. He wants you. Every single day, Everardo was emailing us about space, about just to get us in that mind frame. But to quickly finish with Django, it was great. It was real for me. When you step on that plantation, you just can't help but feel the spirit.
Yeah.
Of the people that the slaves that lost their lives, and also I think there was one building, like inside one slave quarters, there's writings on the wall of the actual slaves that were there. I mean, that within itself, just like it's crazy, man.
It's hard to reconcile the fact that those plantations are so beautiful on one hand with the horrors that went on. Like, I've toured the New Orleans plantations and Oak Alley, and they're beautiful but horrifying.
Yeah, very, very. And just being there, just like, so for me, that was it was a blessing, and look, I thought Quentin did a great job. A lot of people are having reservations, like, why is Quentin directing? Well, you know what? He brought attention to what happened, and there's nothing wrong with that. It doesn't black, white, or Asian or whatever. He's a great artist. You know, and he showed the world. You know, just a reminder of what happened. Don't forget. You know. And to be honest, I've been blessed the past few years working with some amazing directors and amazing projects, and I'm really grateful, and I'm looking forward to seeing what Mars brings up next year. And so I really hope that everyone gets a chance to go check it out on National Geographic channel and tune in and just watch it I believe it's every Monday night at 9 o'clock. So
absolutely. And one of the things that I think is also very interesting with your career is that you're such a humanitarian, and with the exception of Mars, obviously, and some other roles, you've really actually done a lot of roles that are like very gritty and like the bad guy. And I'm thinking Lord of War, where your gold-plated gun is famous.
Yes.
So it's just
you
interesting.
gave me the gun of Rambo.
It's an interesting balance, right? You've been on all these like cop shows, like NYPD Blue even, and yet you know, you're this humanitarian. So how do you, I guess, reconcile work life with real life?
For now, you know, I'm single, so my work is my life. You know, my job, acting is my girlfriend. So basically, anyone that I do go out with, they gotta understand this is what I love to. This is what I love to do. Just like whatever you do, I want to support you in what you do. Let's support each other and inspire each other to create, to grow in life. And you know, my life is good. It's it's simple. You know, you know, as long as I hang out with my friends and my true friends, and there are times I just want to stay home and not really deal with people.
Like all of us.
Yeah.
So what do you do in your downtime other than play soccer?
I like to go hiking. I like to watch movies. One of my favorite shows I like watching on Netflix is Peaky Blinders. I love that show. And I also love The Blacklist, but I was fortunate to I just shot The Blacklist last week, so I'm really excited about that, to work with James Spader. But then I like to read, you know, whenever I can. I have this book that I go back to from time to time to just kind of like put things into perspective so I don't lose my way. Is Measure of a Man by Sidney Poitier, who to me is like a mentor. And I love what he's done and his positiveness and what he stands for. And he's a man, you know, Measure of a Man. And now I'm reading. There's a great book that our show is loosely based on. It's called How We'll Live on Mars by Stephen Petronik. It's a great book, and it's very, you know, inspiring. It tells you so much about Mars and about what's going on. And yeah, so you know, and once in a while I go out with friends, you know, to dinner, and sometimes go out dancing. You know?
So basically that's where people can expect to find you.
Yeah.
And so you've got a wide variety of activities, and meanwhile you'll also be promoting a new film coming up soon. You shot with Bruce Willis for your second time.
Yes. This is gonna blow your socks off. I mean, this is a comedy. It's called Once Upon a Time in Venice. And I played a sexy transvestite named Gigi. Hey, hey, girlfriend. And it's with Bruce Willis, Jason Momoa, John Goodman. Oh my God, he's amazing. Famke Janssen. Who else? Just a great cast. Stephanie Sigmund. She was one of the Bond girls, the last Bond that. And it's a comedy. Bruce Willis plays down and out cop, right now, who's not. I guess he got kicked off the force after many years. He's a great cop. He was a great cop, but then, you know, stuff happened. But it's a great cast, and I'm just blessed to be a part of it. And that comes out, I think, I'm not sure. I think probably beginning of next year.
Yeah, it seems like it's been pushed a little bit, so we'll have
Yeah.
to definitely keep an eye out.
Yeah.
And was it nice being on a comedy set for once?
Oh my God, yes. But you know what? We had fun on Mars. My director, Everardo, is hilarious. He's always cracking jokes. But yeah, it was nice. I mean, I'm on set with Bruce Willis and John Goodman. People forget that Bruce Willis started out, on Moonlighting, which is, he was so funny and hilarious on that show. And to see him and John Goodman just go at it. And oh my God, it was like acting class. I was just watching that, and John Goodman is so good. Like this guy can just be talking to you 1 second, and all of a sudden when they say action, it's on. And it's just like, God, how do I have to prepare? Like, if I have a scene, I have to I go in one corner and just kind of talk to myself. I don't talk to anyone. Then when we go, before they go and roll in, then I go in. But John can just, I mean, that's from years of experience, like shoot the shit with you, and then we say action. Hey,
Yeah, and that's a great point too about Bruce Willis, because his brand has sort of changed so much that I don't think we tend to think of him anymore as a comedic actor. We think of him as an action hero.
As an action hero,
not comedy. But even Friends, which was more recent, but even that was more than 10 years ago now. But we don't see him in a lot of comedy. So were you guys cracking up on set all the time?
Oh yeah, it was, because this is our second rodeo together. And he was so great. It was nice working with him, just to see him again, and he's just a great guy. We had fun. We talked, kind of reminisced about shooting Tears of the Sun in Hawaii, and that was a totally different movie from Once Upon a Time in Venice, and but it was great. It was just catching up. It just made it easier as well, because my scenes were with him and John Goodman, and we just had fun. It was great, and we had great directors, because there's two of them, brothers, the Cullen brothers, Mark and Rob. They were awesome. So they made the set. We just have fun. And when I put on that outfit in heels, I wear high heels, so girl, and I rock them high heels.
Did you? Were your feet killing you at the end of the day?
Oh my goodness! Afterwards, I'm like, I have so much respect for women. It's like, how do you do it? You go through all this with the makeup just to look good. I don't want to say just for us, man, but just to look good. I mean, it's like, God, hey, kudos to you. It's just like, now it's like the next girl that I go out with, and I say, baby, if you don't want to put on your heels, if you just want to wear flats and just kicks, fuck it, just go with it. It's okay, baby. Yeah.
So now everyone basically knows they can find you at a club and they don't need heels. And they're all
No
set.
heels. I'm telling you, man. Afterwards, I was like, oh Jesus, how do you women do this? It's amazing. It is. I'm blown away. So, anyways,
Well, it brings a whole new definition to that phrase, walk a mile in someone's shoes.
yeah,
right?
exactly. No, you're right.
And so when you got the heels, I assume you had to try on a few different pairs.
Oh,
Were you
yeah, I
saying
did.
higher, shorter, my feet hurt? How did you
God.
pick your heels?
Well, they picked them for me.
You had zero say.
No, well, they brought few different heels and shoes for me to pick, and I tried them on, and there was the one I'm wearing in the movie. It's actually, we picked it. I picked it together with the wardrobe lady. I forget her name. She's so wonderful. She's the head of wardrobe for the movie. And we were just, they were having fun dressing me, and I was cracking up because I was trying to find this character. And the process of going through wardrobe and fitting and putting on the outfit actually helped me discover the character more of Gigi. So thank you to them, and it was lovely. I had a great time.
Well, it sounds like fun. We know that we can keep an eye out for you with the Bruce
Yes,
Willis
please
movie.
do.
We know where to find you on Mars. So
Mars.
thank you so much for joining me in studio. Remind
for having me.
everyone where they can find you on social media.
You can find me at Sammi Rotibi, SAMMI ROTIBI, at Sammi Rotibi, Instagram and Twitter. And check out Mars on National Geographic channel every Monday night at 9 o'clock. If you missed it, you can check it out online and on demand. Mars on National Geographic channel.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much. And I'm your host, Zoe Hewitt. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Zoe Said What. That's Zoe Said What. You can also find me on YouTube at Zoe Hewitt Hosting, where I do a weekly movie analysis show. You can also find me here at AfterBuzz on Monday evenings, hosting the AfterBuzz TV Shark Tank After Show. So thank you so much for joining us today for Spotlight On. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Hey.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.